Welcome to the Know. I'm Brian.
I'm Gus.
I'm Ben.
So we're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 and whether or not it is a Game of the Year game. Because I think there's been a lot of talk about it's gotten a lot of praise, and I think rightfully so. But I think there's a little bit of backlash too, or at least people saying that the game might be a little bit overrated.
Yeah, well,
so
I think
just wondering what you guys thought.
it might also be one of that syndrome where it's like it's cool not to like the thing that everyone else
Yeah,
likes.
the popular thing.
I think the Game Awards, they awarded Game of the Year to God of War
Right. Yep.
over Red Dead 2.
Yes.
But I know we've been talking internally about what do we think our top 5 games of the year are.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can pick my favorite game of the year,
Yeah.
but I think it would definitely be either Red Dead or God of War.
Oh,
I
so
think,
yours would be up there.
yeah,
like
yeah,
one
Red
or
Dead's
two.
definitely
Okay.
up there for me. I don't know if it's
And they were
the best game of the year, but it's a
Right.
great game in my
And
opinion.
it won a lot of awards at the Game Awards that were just everything except Game of the Year. And there were some in there that I didn't quite agree with.
I think it lost art direction to Obra Dinn, right? The Lucas Pope
Yes.
game.
It got, what did it get, a sound award, I think, and like a narrative?
Performance.
Sound design,
Maybe
yeah.
that's it. It felt like the equivalent of like minor Oscars, though, when it's like something doesn't get Best Picture, but they might get Best
win everything else.
Screenplay or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
It's a good game. There are moments that just feel so slow starting out. And it's gotten to a point where I haven't finished the game. I'm what seems halfway through. I'm somewhere in chapter 3. And it's been a while since I've played it, but it's just not hooking me like these other games have grabbed me.
I think the game definitely suffers from the opening chapter when you're in the snow.
The tutorial.
It's slow going and it goes on for quite a while.
Right.
And but I think and after that, I think the first couple of chapters are slower. You're kind of in a camp, moving around between smaller cities. There is a point, and you haven't gotten there yet, where I think the game kind of. It's weird to say. The game's already open to begin with. But I feel like it opens up, or maybe you understand the complexity of the story a little more.
I think that's my problem with the game so far is that it's such a slow burn going forward, and then when you hit all of these like side things that you can do, it opens up even more, and I've kind of lost the narrative. And I had the same issue with Red Dead 1, where I was like, this is a fun game, I'm enjoying myself, but it's not like hooking me to like keep playing more and more. I'm gonna play for an hour and leave. But then I hit a point in Red Dead 1 where that's all I did until I finished the game, and I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen with me with 2.
Where it hooks you.
And then
you're
it's just,
like, okay.
Yeah.
I live in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so far it just
And
it hasn't
it's
gotten
tough
me.
it's a tough sell to tell someone.
Yes.
Invest 20 hours into this game, and then you're really gonna get hooked by it.
Right.
But I had a lot of problems. I'm notoriously not a fan of big open world games. I wasn't a big fan of Red Dead 1 for the reason you're talking about, where I felt like it was kind of slow to start and just kind of like I was overwhelmed with choice. Like, oh, I can go do this or that.
Right.
And then if I do this, it opens up this other stuff. But I decided to really tough it out with Red Dead 2, and try to squash that inner voice in me that's telling me to play something else.
Just power through
Power through it,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad that I did that.
Really?
I think
Okay,
the
maybe
game,
that's what I need to do then. Is just power through.
Start playing. And I've been intentionally not avoiding side missions. I've been intentionally like anytime I see a side mission, anytime there's a random encounter, I just fully commit to it.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
I'm gonna go
so
do
you've
that.
Done so you
I'm
put
trying
a ton
to do
of hours
everything.
in
Yeah,
it.
it's like, and it's like anytime I see a random person, like, okay, we're gonna go do this, or oh, that's a new side quest. I intentionally am trying to clear all side quests and all random encounters, and then once those are done, then
You'll
I'll
go to the story.
I'll
And
continue a
that
story.
seems to be like a good reason why people love the game is because this is a game that you are just immersed in the world, and that's what you're doing for the next 3 months or so. And I think that's my problem with it, right? And I recognize that's fully my problem is I just don't feel like I have the time to do that. But then again, I'm about to go on Christmas break for 2 weeks, and then I'll come back like wearing a cowboy hat and like know how to lasso and everything.
My problem is that it does start slow, but my problem is the controls feel so sluggish when you're controlling Arthur. I don't know if that's just me, but it just doesn't feel like responsive. I don't know. It just feels kind of muddy the way when it comes to shooting or just moving around. I don't know. That's one of my big complaints about
There's a lot of strange mechanics in the game,
Yeah.
like having to tap A to run or to gallop. Like
Yeah.
that gets a little tedious.
I have issues like, okay, how do I find the map? I can hit start and go, oh, that's right, I can hold down the pause button, that'll bring up the map. There are definitely moments though where like I'm chasing after someone and I feel almost like I'm playing co-op. I'm just like, I'm gonna hit this, no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, he's going off the cliff, shit,
Yeah.
whatever. But
even like the quick draw mechanic, we have to slowly pull the trigger and it
Yeah.
fills the meter, and then you quick draw into Deadeye.
Yeah, they've made some weird choices because I feel like most other, or a lot of other games have kind of settled into like a format. Like this is how you're going to control your character. And they definitely are doing things their own way. The other thing I hear people complain about is this is still a Rockstar game. Like that structure, the mission and everything are pretty much what we've seen from Rockstar for a while
Which
now.
works for them. It's just not anything new.
Right. They haven't like freshened that up.
But I definitely felt that
Yeah.
playing the game. But I feel like the variety in missions and the variety in what you do
Yeah.
compensates for that.
Right.
Just because it's like, oh, you can be doing totally different things. Whether you're bounty hunting or trying to go rob a bank or trying to help a guy dressed up in drag get on a boat to escape so that people
found
don't
that
find
one
him. Yeah, it's like there's
Sold.
just such a huge variety.
I think that's what makes it the like game of the year level style of game, are these small polish and small things that you're finding in the game. Like that's it's still a very, very good game. I'm loving what I've played so far of it. It's just not quite where I'm at with a few of the other games that I've played this year.
Do you guys think it deserved the scores that it got? Because I think it's like a 97 on Metacritic, and I sometimes feel like Rockstar games get a little inflated, and that charge has been made before, but 97 seems a little high. But the production values, the way it looks, the music are very, very good.
Yeah, I think it warrants that score. I think it's a fantastic game that's really enthralling. And I mean, that's not to say it's not without its problems. Like we talked about control issues. It's not without its bugs. I've definitely had some bugs where it's like, oh, got to reload a save because the game just did something. Then progress is impossible now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it definitely deserves the scores that it's getting, the like 96s, 97s. Rockstar has built an impressive world and an impressive engine where small things can have a butterfly effect way later on for everything it's done. But yeah, I don't think it's a 100. I think that's my problem. I don't think it's a 100.
Well, I mean, what game is a
Yeah,
100?
Well, for me, like God of War is really close. It's probably like a 99 for me if I were to have to like throw a score at it. Whereas like Red Dead 2, I'd probably give a 95 or a 96.
Yeah. You said it was kind of co-game of the year for God of War.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like God of War, you don't feel like it was like a runaway hit.
Oh,
I mean, a runaway game of the year, rather.
No, and I loved God of War.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an amazing game. I think they're both really pinnacles of an achievement in what's possible in game development, and I think they both deserve all the accolades.
They are good. Both of them are good examples of sort of late era console games where it feels like they've kind of figured out how to wring every drop of the console's hardware out and make games look like just as good as humanly possible. And I feel like that's graphically where both of them.
And I think Rockstar has gotten into a little bit of hot water over kind of a shady HDR implementation in Red Dead Redemption 2, whereas God of War really had an amazing HDR
I think
implementation.
the difference we're going to see here is like the longevity of people talking about Red Dead. I think a year from now we'll still have some like, oh, I just ran into this really cool moment. Like I'm still kind of playing this game in the online and diving into the story and finding these cool side missions, whereas I'll have completely forgotten about God of War.
Oh,
Yeah, I think down the line it'll be a
God
game
of War
that
has
will,
the Valkyries though. You can fight.
and go fight all the bosses.
Yeah.
But I think there will be more that sticks with me long term with Red Dead in the story than it will be like what God of War has given me.
And they're definitely setting it up like they did with GTA 5 to have the online component, to be a multi-year, this huge platform.
To be a money printer.
Absolutely, that's right.
Yeah, and I still haven't even dipped into online. I'm just playing
Just single
all
player.
the story stuff. Yeah, single player.
So those are our thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2 and whether or not it deserves its Game of the Year status. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. And as always, keep it tuned right here to The Know. Subscribe, visit our website, theknow.tv. We'll see you later.